This is a quick start guide for the Excel skills inventory control usage by template. This template enables users to control stock component quantities and to measure the profitability of a business by comparing sales to inventory usage. It is not suitable for a full manufacturing function. We've created this template for businesses like restaurants, bars, takeaways, delis, coffee shops, and so forth, where stock usage can be measured as an indication of cost of sales and compared to daily sales amounts. Let's start with a stock code sheet. So on a stock code sheet, you create all your stock codes. The unique stock code in column A stock description, a unit of measure. If you have opening stock, you can record the opening quantity and opening cost. So those columns with the yellow column headings are user input columns, and the light blue columns contain formulas, which are automatically calculated for all entries that are added to the sheet. We also have a from and a to date at the top of the sheet, which means that you can run this analysis for any date range. So the stock code sheet includes calculated columns for the quantity on hand, the average cost, the inventory valuation, then a section on quantity movement. So opening quantity, purchased quantity, used quantity, adjustments quantity, and then a section on values, which has opening value, purchased value, used value, and adjustment value. Okay, so you can create all your individual stock codes on this sheet and then go to the movement sheet to record inventory movements. So on the movement sheet, the columns with yellow column headings are user input columns, and the light blue columns contain formulas. So in terms of user input, you need to capture the transaction date. That can be done based on your original date settings. The transaction type will be either a purchase, usage, or adjustment. Those are the three transaction types. You have a supply name and document number that you can enter. In terms of usage, you would just enter none. Select a stock code. So there's a selection, a drop-down list of all the stock codes that have been created on the stock code sheet. Your transaction quantity, positive quantities for purchases, negative quantities for usage, and adjustment can be either positive or negative. And then an invoice amount column, which is only for purchases. So you can enter the invoice amount exclusive of any sales tax that might be applicable if you're able to claim back sales tax. So you enter your data, and then the light blue columns are calculated automatically. Basically, these quantity columns and these average cost columns are used in the average cost calculations. And we then have a purchase price per unit, which is compared to the average cost to calculate the price variance on your purchases, so that you can see if there are big price discrepancies both in terms of value and percentage. And then there's a movement date. So that's the gist of it in terms of recording inventory movements. So let's look at the stock count sheet. Stock count sheet can be used for stock tags. So at the top of the sheet, you enter your stock tag date, and that all these columns with the light blue column headings are calculated automatically. So when you enter the date, the theoretical stock quantities and the values are determined based on that date. You can include your stock codes in column A that you want to do account for. Easiest way is to copy them from a stock code sheet, and then you just enter whatever the quantity is that was counted, and that will create your quantity variances and the variance values. So the quantity variances can then be recorded as inventory adjustments on your movement sheet. Okay, so the next sheet is the sales sheet. The year will record daily sales data. So It's not by stock code, because in most of the types of businesses that we designed the template for do not measure sales by individual stock code, and the usage of stock components, the stock codes for the usage usually differ from the finished product stock codes. So we just facilitate including a daily sales total to measure profitability, and that would be exclusive of sales tax if sales tax is applicable. So you include the daily sales on this sheet, and then on the profitability sheet, that's where we may measure profitability of the business. So you have a from and a to date. That's the only user input required, and which determines the calculations in this date range column. The monthly date and year to date is also determined based on the to date, so that this will be your monthly and this will be your calendar year. So we have sales, cost of sales, gross profit, and gross profit percentage. So the cost of sales will be a total of the usage and the stock adjustments added together. That will give you cost of sales for the purpose of this comparison. Okay, the same goes for this daily section, the daily of the last month, sales values, cost of sales values, gross profit, and gross profit percentage. You see that the cost of sales values here are basically once per week, so that it depends on how you measure your inventory. If you calculate usages based on a weekly basis, then you'll see a report like this. If you calculate usage on a daily basis, you may see cost of sales or usage values on a daily basis. So basically, just comparing your sales values with usage, but also taking stock adjustments into account. And that will give you indication of the profitability of the business. If you want more information on the template, you can go to our detailed instructions sheet where we go through everything in absolute detail. You can also refer to the support section of our YouTube channel where we post videos based on user feedback.